السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Masjid Carpark podcast, episode 53, take 1.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Are we going to continue with take 1 this week?
Alhamdulillah. What are we on? Episode?
53, man.
MashaAllah.
MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah.
That's 53 hours of my life I'll never get back.
We. Where's my headphone?
Oh, that would be a good start.
Alhamdulillah.
Bro, I'm still trying to figure out that kettle. You need to explain it to me.
Which kettle?
That kettle.
It's a kettle.
That's my point. Can we just show it on camera? We need to see it.
This is just.
What do you think?
It just brings an air of,
Kettleness.
classiness and.
It's so oxidized.
We should do something
Ain't
about
no
it.
classiness there, brother.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I have to be careful not to interrupt you this week. My heart was broken.
Someone made a comment last week that Abdul Wajid keeps on interrupting me, when in reality, the brother, if he's listening, I'm the one. If you listen to all our recordings, I'm the one usually cutting him off. So.
I haven't recovered. Sorry to interrupt. Keep going.
Yeah,
I won't do that the whole podcast.
Over the weekend, Alhamdulillah, we attended a Sadaqah welfare fund. So for those who don't know, we'll put up the link for our Ramadan recording. Brother Joshkin, he came here in Ramadan, did a recording with us. MashaAllah, got a good feedback from
Listen
the community.
to it, guys.
In terms of how they run the charity and so forth, it was an eye opener for us, MashaAllah.
It was
Because we don't know, we are not involved in the charity. I mean, everyone gives charity. All Muslims give charity.
But where does it go? Like just yesterday, I found out, we found out, he's walked off on me. I won't interrupt him. Welcome back, Sheikh Khalid. How was your trip?
The camera wasn't plugged in.
What, all that wasn't recorded?
No, it's recorded. It's just, it wasn't, the power was, I could see the power was running out.
I was wondering all my words of wisdom, man.
Yeah, so we had this, there was a function that was held in the city. It was just more of an appreciation for all the people in the network that's been supporting the charitable works of Sadaqah Welfare Fund.
And also an idea of...
or sadaqah.org.au.
And also it gave us an idea of where that money's going, how it's being spent, who it's being spent on. It was heart-wrenching.
Yeah, because they had a lot of
condition of
videos
the
of the places that they go to and the people that they help. And Allah reward them and give them more. And
May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give those guys Jannatul Firdaus for what they're doing.
I mean.
Like, I can't speak highly enough.
Brother Bulent and Brother Joshkin, they're two brothers. They're the founders of, I think Brother Bulent is the one who founded initially. And then Joshkin sort of, they worked together as a family and they built it up really nicely, and Allah give them.
That's a lot.
You can listen to the whole podcast that we did interview. Mind you, it was the first time we had like a proper guest who we can actually
grill,
interview and ask questions, and we were learning ourselves how to actually do an interview. But Alhamdulillah, it was good and people appreciated it. But they gave us an award which we're supposed to bring. Abdullah was supposed to bring, but he forgot.
It's been a long day, bro.
It's not an award, but it's more of a expression.
It was an appreciate. We didn't win any awards. Let's make this clear.
The only thing is they put it on it. Instead of calling it the Masjid Carpark, they put
the Masjid Parking Lot,
which is an American woke Muslim podcast.
Is it woke Muslim?
Well, I went there and they got a lot of music, and it's a lot of brothers and sisters.
Oh, really?
I don't know. In American car parks, I think the brothers and sisters mix a lot. Maybe.
I'm going to America. No,
So it's So anyway, there's another podcast called the American Parking Lot. What is it? The Masjid Parking Lot.
Yeah.
So
we don't call our stuff parking lots,
but it's all right. It's the gesture and the they think too highly of us. We just put in the good word out, the good work that they're doing. Just what's the hadith? The one who guides towards the good is like the one who's done it. Yeah, that's our whole life.
Mashallah, that hadith. But however, the personal sacrifice these guys are making, the amount of effort that's going to, the amount of thought that goes into each one of them. So it's not just, all right, collect your money, this is what we're going to do. The thought processes behind
There's
it.
a lot of logistics.
Guys, go to sadqa.org.au. have a look at what they're doing. Listen to that podcast, not for more views. That's not what we're telling you. Just to get an understanding of what they're doing. It blew me away.
And inshallah, they'll be here next Ramadan. That time we'll go through more details, specifically the projects as well, inshallah. So they promised, they actually asked, they want to, come on this podcast because we're so influential, and
all 21 of our viewers.
Yeah, we've influenced the last election from our last podcast, and
yes,
and totally there was a swing against Dan Andrews and the Labor Party.
There wasn't. There wasn't.
No, there was a slight
swing. And what was it?
From
Family First got 0 seats.
Labor and Liberal. Actually, there was a swing away from Labor and Liberal in this one compared to the previous one to Greens. So it's even worse than what we thought it would.
And even the previous election.
What's that?
There was a swing towards. It is a swing towards the left, but it was also a swing towards change. I think people are sick and tired of these two big political parties.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we don't want to become red and blue America.
Yeah.
Democrat or
I don't think you'll have that situation in the Westminster, the type of system that we have. That's a very American
No, but we had that for years. What are you talking about?
Before we've got it, but it's not.
We had until Bob Brown started the Greens. What was it?
Yeah, but the politics wasn't that polarized like it is now.
Come on, brother.
Yeah, they got to find the Conservatives are stuck. They got to find issues that they don't have much.
No, I think the Conservatives, the right needs to sit down and think about what they believe in, what they champion, but how to be inclusive in that. This doesn't mean move extreme to the left, but what I am saying is how do we respect everyone, but at the same time say there are certain boundaries we don't want to cross. This is what you want to do, that's fine on an individual basis. However, as a country, this is where we stand. And I think that is where, and if articulated and communicated correctly, I think even those on the extreme left will go, you know what, these guys have got a point.
Yeah.
Not the extreme left maybe, but the left.
Yeah.
Left and centre left. It's just that the other side, come on, man, we've had years of conservative government.
When? Dan's been around for more than a decade.
I'm not talking about Dan. Oh, okay, I'm talking federal. I'm thinking federal, right? That's had a big impact on our state. Even the federal government's had a big impact on our state election.
Funding, state funding.
Funding rorts. I mean, just
not
what was
rorts,
it? ScoMo's
funding as in state funding.
ScoMo's censure motion today, that speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Right? All those things that happened, people are just tired.
Was it the ministries?
Secret ministries. How do you do that? But anyway,
he's
that's
just so good. ScoMo was like he was so good as multi-talented. He can take a whole. He's
But in every interview, that's not my job. Have you seen he was famous for that?
Yeah,
that's not my job.
He interviewed himself. the job. Anyway, look, I think it's back again. Labor's back again, and with a slightly less thing. Last week I was a bit emotional, maybe, and I expressed strong feelings against the type of things that were put out from some of our Muslims organizations regarding the monies.
Did you have any feedback on that? Did you get any backlash?
No. I mean, did
anyone say, Sheikh, what are you talking?
Free country, mate. You can say whatever you want. But the thing is that
the First Amendment?
I still stand by that statement that the monies were so. Firstly, 3 million here, 1 million there.
Yeah, it's nothing.
It's nothing. Honestly, Muslims, I really want to get this across to brothers and sisters that $1 million or $2 million, $3 million is probably the donations we collect in Australia in a Jummah across Australia. There are mosques, in one of the mosques, the mosque where I am, 1 week one mosque comes, collects donation 5,000, next week 10,000. This is a regular thing in one masjid, and it's not a very big masjid. It's a medium big masjid, 700 in Jummah. But then you go to one of the bigger masjid where there's 2,000-3,000 people praying. And people are collecting donations, and there's organizations collecting donations, and people, the amount of money that Muslims give, what was the amount that they was
in Ramadan? This was just in Ramadan. So Sadaqah and Zakat, the figure that is collected globally is $4 billion.
Yeah, by Muslims. Yeah,
that's in Ramadan. Forget about the rest of the year.
Yeah,
$4 billion. Where is that money going?
Yeah, that's another question. Like, how was it spent?
We need a podcast on that.
Yeah, charities, accountability, transparency. There's a lot of questions to be asked about that. That's why, we with these brothers, we can ask openly the questions and
They don't hide
show
anything.
us the books and
Yeah.
show us the paperwork, show us the accounts. And the fact that the brothers themselves are professionals who've actually built up successful businesses, they know
They don't need the charity of the Muslims to sustain their own lives
Yeah.
in order to do charity work.
they're successful business people, so that's where they
yeah.
make their money for themselves. But having said that, back to the political things, those sort of like carrots that are dangled, or here's some $1 million, here's $2 million. Not that we're not unappreciative of it, but I think we have to put it into context. Muslims have
It's not much.
It's not much. Over 4 years, next 4 years, isn't it? The terms. It's 4-year term. It's $250,000 a year. That's nothing.
What does that mean?
That's
Yeah.
that's
Th-
nothing.
but I think
Overall,
We, as a community, we have to stop thinking on an individual level.
yeah,
So if one person goes, wow, $1 million, 250,000 a year, don't compare it to your income.
yeah,
This is one of the things that I'm making, $50,000-$60,000 a year,
yeah,
average. Like not me literally, but as a general Muslim, right?
Yeah.
You probably 3 million, 4 million a week, right?
yeah.
So we're making so an average Muslim makes maybe 70,000, say 70K,
Mm,
right? Now, when you compare that to 250K a year, that sounds like a lot.
mm.
But then, how many Muslims in Melbourne? Do you know?
About 200,000.
Okay, that's $1,000 a year, less than $1,000 a year, or just over $1,000 a
On
year per
average,
Muslim.
yeah. Look,
What does that mean?
there's Muslims that give. I know Muslims that have give 100,000, sign 100,000. One person signed $100,000 check.
There you go.
So, and there are Muslims that spent, individual Muslims spent millions.
I know
special-
one that
yeah.
spent 1.3 or 4 million.
Yeah. There's checks
Like
of
one
$1
hit.
million checks being signed by a single Muslim giving for Islamic projects. So from the state government of Victoria to give 1 million or 2 million is
It's
actually
tokenism.
yeah, it's tokenism. It's not a really big deal. So Muslims shouldn't be fooled by this. Like we shouldn't be thinking, oh wow, Dan came to a masjid. He went to, what was it, Preston Masjid, and they said, I'm in the biggest. I mean, that's just a correction. This is a fact checking.
Here we go.
He said it's the oldest and biggest mosque.
It's not.
It's not the oldest mosque.
That's the Carlton Mosque.
No, it's not.
Which one is it?
Shepparton. The Shepparton Albanian Mosque is the oldest masjid in Victoria. Then
Is that right?
Then the Carlton Mosque. Then the Preston Mosque. Yeah, it's one of the early mosques, mashallah, but it's the third oldest mosque in Victoria. I'm not sure if there's any other before it, but this is my understanding. That's the third oldest, and it's not the biggest mosque either.
No, it's not.
It's those who drive around and work and pray in different mosques. Just go out to the west and see some of the masjids there. So those are small fact-checking details. But more importantly is the allowing them before elections to come and present, argue their political stance or show, quote unquote, the friendly side to get those
The solidarity.
marginal seat votes
Yeah.
from the Muslims and offer tokenistic things for Muslims. I think Muslims should be very, very cautious of politicians. They never give with ikhlas, sincerity.
But do you know what I find with this? And I'll probably get shot down in flames for this. Those intellectual, or for want of a better word, educated Muslims, or Muslims in positions in dunya, in their life, so they might, whatever position, whatever job they hold, high position, things like that, those guys aren't the ones these guys are talking to. These guys are talking to, with all due respect
What's
to
that got
everyone,
to do with it?
with all due respect to everyone, let me finish. These guys are talking to people that may not see those amounts of dollars pass through whatever process they're doing. So it sounds like a big deal, right? Not being disrespectful to anyone, but it sounds like a huge deal. And so from our point of view, when a person looks at it from an individual point of view, it sounds like, oh, it's huge. But when you collectively add the Muslims, or just add, look at the car park, man. Look at the cars in the car park. Not our car park, but an average masjid car park. There's some nice cars in there.
MashaAllah.
Mashallah. The point I'm trying to make is we're worth more than that. And I think collectively we are a lot stronger than that. We just don't know it.
Yeah, I mean,
We've just been beaten down. with the
Firstly,
media.
like these tokenistic amounts that are given, number one. Number two, the fact that we let them come into the masjid and use it like as a thing. I'm not sure if any churches or Christians do that. I think we have to be and it's not just one mosque. It's not picking on any particular place. There's multiple masjids that give platforms to politicians and so forth. We have to be very cautious with these people because they have an agenda. An agenda is not something insidious or
yeah.
conspiratorial. It's basically just everybody
A goal.
as a goal. And like if they're coming to you and offer $1 million and you're very happy on, look, he's going to do something for the Prophet ﷺ and he's going to do this, but then he's the person, like Dan Andrews and his party are the party that all the worst types, and we mentioned a few of them last week, of they remove the religious protections or refuse to have any protections for religious organization, including our Islamic schools, our Islamic organization, our masjids, refuse to do that. That means our values don't line up. So we have to be very, very cautious. And I'm talking, this doesn't just apply, sorry, this doesn't apply just to here. It also applies in Muslim countries, politics over there. Generally, I'm not into, most Muslims are most Aussies actually don't really care much because not much changes.
Yeah.
And
but a lot's changed in the last 10 years without us realizing.
I called my son. I said, "Have you voted?" He goes, "I have to vote. I'm working today." I said, "It's half an hour lining up. It's $130 fine. You calculate the rate of what you're getting paid as a apprentice. So is it worth for you to pay the $130 or $50 whatever fine?" Alhamdulillah, he voted. So it's you got to do it, even if you throw a dummy vote. But I think we shouldn't be so naive, and we shouldn't. This is what we were talking during the week, and the Muslims are amazing.
They are,
and Muslims are like Muslims have come many Muslims have come as refugees. Definitely 99% are first or second generation immigrants.
Indentured labor right at the start.
Yeah, if you look at the
time of the Afghans,
but not just Afghans, also in the north, the Indians that were brought to work in sugarcane plantation.
Yep.
So they still there. Those families are still here.
They built masjids, man.
Third, fourth generation.
Back
They're
then.
president of our mosque. His father came, Haji Ibrahim Allah yarhamu. Like his father came in he passed away. His father came in 1901.
There you go.
But when you look at him, he looks like an Indian chacha, and he was an Indian chacha. But
the first time I met him,
when he opens his mouth, what? Like it confuses, it throws you off totally. So the thing is
what people think when they see you.
Huh?
They expect an accent.
Gee,
beta.
But he sorry, off the topic. Into indentured labor or the migrant, especially after World War II, whether even before World War II, Yugoslav, Bosnia, Albania, all these countries, Turks, Lebanese, and so forth. The early Lebanese. Then there was
they broke some serious ground against some serious racism.
And not just that, they built stuff with their own money. The rest of Australia doesn't have to think about these things. They have to donate to building masjids, Islamic schools.
The church does that, yeah.
Islamic centers. Muslims put the money in and built amazing refugees. I remember I was in the famous town Biloela.
Yeah.
I was in Biloela.
You were in Biloela?
Biloela, and there was these Burmese.
Wait, before and after all this drama?
This is before that, yeah.
Okay.
So there was these Burmese refugees. They lived in, I swear, I mentioned this podcast before. It was like
No, you haven't.
It was like a third world. It wasn't a very good, caravan park.
Yeah,
and those guys, when we arrived there, that happened to be on that day, they just rented a shop and made it a musalla. Right?
Wow.
And there was no electricity there yet. They had candles. So we prayed, I think it was Ramadan, and we prayed Taraweeh there, if I remember correctly. But subhanAllah, the brothers, they're refugees. They're living in caravan parks. They're just barely surviving, working nearby factories or abattoirs or something. Despite that, they got together, put their money together, which they need for their own survival, and said, we're going to need to rent a place, add an additional expense to our life I'm talking about the lowest, strata of a community. And let alone anybody else, anybody that builds up anything, first generation, second generation migrants, who should really just be setting themselves up.
Yeah.
And despite that, they're spending money back home. They're sending money back home for family. They're building projects here. They're
building masjids all over the world.
Masjids. When we get a little bit extra in the Muslim, it's amazing. And Allah says in the
the generation though, however, the next generation that's grown up in Australia and that has been brought up here through Australian schools or born in Australia, what have you not, whatever you say, it's not as full on as the earlier generations. Don't have that much. They're the ones building themselves.
All those fuddy-duddy uncles that we
have to respect them.
we have to, like, we make fun of them. Maybe
Do you? The truth comes
Some
out,
people do.
Doncaster. The
Make fun
truth
of-
comes out.
No, like.
I get it. I think everybody gets it. We're all ethnics.
We make fun of the ethnics, uncles and whatnot, and their little quirks and so forth. But they're the ones who did it. They built it. They did it, and we have to really like.
And our generation,
hats off to them.
Yeah, and our generation, or the generation that was born and brought up here, is that generation of, okay, I've got to get a house, I've got to get a car, I want to get a nice job, all of these things.
They're very much
and
less.
the dean's very much on the back burner.
Yeah, that early generation might not have the beards. They might not have the
Yes,
and apparently they don't. But when you look at the
Islamic thing,
contribution and the time that they gave and the community that they build up, and then we, our generation, the millennials, quote unquote, that we come in and we said, we're not being given. Why don't you go and build a mosque yourself?
Yeah,
why don't you do what they did? You all, you millennials, get together and build a millennial mosque. Yeah. Am I letting a journey out of the bottle or something? I feel like. But anyway, the point being was the Muslims, in terms of how they spend, what they spend, the amounts they spend, Muslims are very strong.
The amount of
amazing
ikhlas they spend with.
Yeah.
That can never be.
This ummah is ummah marhuma. Allah's rahmah is on it. It's an amazing ummah. It is an amazing ummah. Allah's mercy on it because they have iman. Even if he says la ilaha illallah is iman, Allah keeps the whole world running. Mate, Muslim makes the world go around. It makes Australia's functioning because there's someone la ilaha illallah in this world. America's functioning because there's one person saying la ilaha illallah in this world.
That's amazing.
Yeah, in the eyes of Allah's value. So obviously it manifests itself in productiveness and so forth. The Muslims are not useless. We're not beggars. Muslims are hardworking, and sometimes we are harsh on ourselves, and then we're harsh on the rest of the Muslims. And
I also think though this was a lot of, for the new generation. There is a lot of apology that's happened due to 9/11.
Yeah,
and that's been thrown back in our face. I'm going to repeat this over and over again till we all understand this.
Yeah,
like that's been thrown back in our face, like what happened with the British guys when that gay Muslim was brought in and the teacher lost it. And he goes, 19 people flew a tower into our buildings, and we supported a plane into buildings, and more or less, and we got behind you all and this and that. These kids weren't even born at that time.
Yeah.
Who the hell is he to throw that back in their face? That makes me furious. But it was a great eye opener for Muslims to understand. No, we're not apologizing for it anymore because I didn't do it.
Yeah,
my parents didn't do it. My family didn't do it. My countrymen didn't do it.
Yeah, don't hold that.
Those
don't
people
hold that
around
over
me.
us.
Don't push that to me because I can come back to you with a lot more things. And once we get over that hangover or that thing of September 11 hanging on our heads,
apologizing for something that 99.99% of Muslims disown and
have nothing to do with.
Really, the Muslims disown it. The Ummah disowns it, and
they're criminals.
So
if they did it. No, I'm just being conspiracy theorist, right? But
let's open that topic.
We need Michael Moore.
Tower 7.
We need Michael Moore for that one.
Yeah, but did you see the English fans what they did to the Americans? It was absolutely ruthless.
Don't go there.
No, the English fans.
Don't go there.
I mean, they have some.
Don't go there.
They are ruthless. Like what they did to the Americans.
English fans are absolutely ruthless. Yeah,
they are,
but why do you think they're banned from certain countries? They're banned from countries when during soccer matches.
The soccer
hooligans. Yeah, don't go there.
Yeah.
Do not go there right now.
You can check what the English fans did yourself. The paper airplanes.
Right. Don't go there. But it's crazy.
And they were chanting something to the Americans. The British were chanting something in Qatar. They were chanting something very, very offensive to throw them off. I'm not sure who won. I'm not really into it. I don't know why.
I've got no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
all I know is there's a lot of Palestinian support. It doesn't matter which country you're playing with. So Palestinian flags are coming out at the most random moment.
Palestine's not playing.
No, that's what I'm saying. Palestine's not playing, but their flags are coming out at the most random places. The songs are being sung.
Oh, because you know what happened?
Even non-Muslims.
No, every time a athlete in Europe or England, they wear like a wristband, like Moeen Ali, the cricketer. He wore a Palestine. He got censured for wearing a Palestine.
Is that right?
So the double standards of when it's the people running with rainbow things, they run onto a pitch, or they're sneaking in, or journalists disrespecting laws of the country, disrespecting the values of the place, that the religion, everything of the people there. they can just crap all over it. But when it's the other way around, when Muslims in those countries, when they want to raise issues, they get censured. The athletes get censured.
I'd never heard about that.
Yeah.
Moeen Ali got censured.
Yeah, for wearing a wristband. I think it's a couple of years, it's a while back, but for wearing a Free Palestine or something.
Wow.
Wristband.
This World Cup has really brought to the fore, to those from Muslim countries, to those from the West, the hypocrisy of Western media.
Yeah.
Not people, because people are amazing. Generally, people are good people, but the media, the hypocrisy of the media has really come out.
Yeah.
And people are seeing that. And I'm not just talking about Muslims, but everyone is going, hey, what's going on here? This is not making sense.
Yeah.
Like
even
the
double
BBC
standards
did not broadcast the opening ceremony of the World Cup.
Okay. Why?
They didn't broadcast it. They broadcast it because of the whole, Qatar against gay rights or whatever. What they broadcasted was, I think they broadcast something to do with the abuses or something.
There is it's an interesting one because it's the first time being held, I think, in a Muslim country. That's the first thing. And then the Qataris going all out. They're trying to do some dawah, I guess. Apparently, these people become Muslims.
Really?
There was some English. It's funny incidences. Like there's an English fan that went out looking for alcohol but couldn't find. They have alcohol. They have zones for drinking. It's not like it's just in the stadiums they banned it, but they've got places made and in importing. And it's unfortunate. It's not fully. We're not dealing with Sahaba, right? When you're dealing with the Arabs today, we're not dealing with Sahaba. So we have to give them respect and whatever, and the Arabs and all that. But we have too much expectations from them. They're doing okay, but there's certain things and they brought Dr. Zakir Naik in to give dawah, and I guess those are, what is positive, we should say it's a positive.
Yep.
There are people having positive, good experiences. This English guy went looking for alcohol, couldn't find it, and then they're upset. The Saudi prince took him to his palace and
no way.
showed his lions and tigers.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So then he's talking about how amazing it is. So that's the thing. In Muslim countries, what's our fun?
A random Saudi prince just picked up some random guy.
Yeah, English fans, and they feel pressured as well that their country's been maligned for Islamic values. And even I think it was a foreign minister or somebody that said, or the games minister, whatever, and he said that we will not change our religion for 30 days. It's literally 30 days. But I think next time Muslims have to it's a lot to expect from rulers who are under the thumb of the West. They did, they are. But they are. They were protected before, and they are still. They're at the mercy of Western forces and.
A lot of their investments and a lot of their money is in the West.
Exactly.
Look what happened to Russia.
Yeah. Every turn they cutting their legs.
You got no choice, mate. Not that I'm saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. Like what happened to Russia. He's still got a lot left in him, in them. But I think 1/3 of the economy. That's a shocking. Like in 8 months or something, 1/3 of the economy is gone. So and he's still so stubborn
for nothing.
That's what I mean.
For nothing, just
and then you've got look at Afghanistan as an example. All their foreign currency is just frozen.
Yeah.
While people are, and what trips me out is don't these other countries see, or they do see and learn a lesson from that rather than continually investing? Or is it there's no choice?
I think the level those guys think at is we probably don't even understand.
Yeah.
Like
true.
The way they go into whole countries, franchises and companies go in. It's very different to opening up a local milk bar or something maybe.
Yeah, but your stuff can get frozen. Like the whole country's thing can get frozen.
Yeah.
Where are you
crazy?
Then?
Yeah.
Anyway,
so Qatar World Cup. I don't know what's going on. Who's winning? Who's losing?
I just know about all the peripheral stuff.
Yeah, just what breaks through the news. Probably by the end of semi-finals or the final, we'll know what's actually going on.
There's a lot of prominent people supporting Qatar.
At the end of the day, it's sports.
Yeah,
it's a sport, right? It's not even a sunnah sport, right? Like at least in archery or horse riding, you can say, all right, but it's not even a sunnah sport.
What do they call it? The world's religion.
Yeah, astaghfirullah azim, it's crazy. Yeah, it is crazy. My father, rahmullah, when we were in Brazil, and he was imam there, and so I was born there, and so there he goes, it's absolutely, it is like, he goes, the whole country. I think that time we were there, in the 80s. They lost the World Cup, and the whole country was in mourning, and
Really?
people lying on the street drunk and just gone. Like it's really like it breaks the heart. So they are very emotional.
Have you ever got into sport like that much?
Nah, never that level.
Yeah, me neither.
The only time a little bit UFC, certain like
Oh, really?
not
you
that
love
level.
you love your UFC, don't
Not
you?
that level, but soccer or any like team sports or footy never did it for me like that. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I support Brazil. That's my birth country.
Is that right for
Yeah,
soccer?
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
100%. That's just we've grown on that like a whole life. So
Right.
It's
From
like-
through your dad?
yeah.
Is he a Brazil supporter?
Always, yeah.
What about Pakistan? He never supported
Do we have
Pakistan in
does
the World
Pakistan have a
He
soccer-
never supported
We don't even know
Pakistan
if
in
they
the
have a
World
s-
Cup.
They cricket, mate, cricket. They
Cricket.
take the best. Cricket. They have the best of both. We have the best of both worlds. But like my team was the Corinthians, right? Corinthians. So
Oh, in Brazil.
in Brazil, yeah, that's the
Okay.
club team. So the reason,
Why?
because when a new baby is born, so when I was born, so what happens is everybody in the neighborhood, all the streets, they bring baby tops,
Okay.
soccer tops for their team.
Their own individual team.
Yeah, everyone brings for their team one for the baby. At the end of the week, there's like a countdown
Oh,
of-
wow. That's amazing.
of which team gave the most. That's your team for life.
That's how it works.
Yeah, that's how it works. So I'm Corinthian apparently. So yeah,
That's fantastic. So you're a
that's
book
a
of the
sunnah there.
you're a book
Where
of
I
the
was anyway.
You're basically a book of the Bible.
What do you mean?
Corinthians.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
it's
Anything you want to tell us, bro?
they like my dad rahmallah had a lot of stories about that, but the like soccer is something like it's huge over there. It is.
So it's basically what cricket is in the subcontinent.
Yeah, look, but crazy. Did you see?
Yeah,
this?
but India's the same.
I
bro.
did see
There-
one thing.
There's people that have made idols of Tendulkar and they worship him.
I saw that.
Astaghfirullah.
Yeah. I saw Saudi. The Saudis. That's what I saw in the news. Saudis beat Argentina.
That doesn't even make sense.
And did you see the celebrations? We had some Saudis turn up at the mosque with coffee and sweets.
Yeah,
and
you told us that last week.
Yeah, so but the funny thing was that like there was there's a video of a Saudi guy. He grabs the door of his house and breaks it out of his celebration. I don't understand that. That type of celebration doesn't even make sense. Like,
Just out of excitement.
yeah, he grabbed the door and he pulled it off. He didn't know what to do. So.
But can you imagine this soccer team, right? They all just got like $10 million bonuses.
Oh yeah.
For beating
Oh yeah.
Argentina.
There'll be there'll be a Benz.
They're
There'll be
the superheroes. No, not what Benz. There'll be a Bugatti, a Veyron in every driveway.
Yeah, there'll be. Yeah.
They'll go home to a Bugatti.
Yeah, even just that one moment of joy that they brought to their country. So, but
How did that happen?
huh?
Messi is Argentina, right?
Yeah, Messi was playing. Yeah,
That's my point.
yeah, he had to front the news and just.
You would have thought that Messi would be enough for the whole team.
You reckon Saudis bought them out? Suspicion. Just try.
Oh,
No, they won
no.
fair and square, obviously, but yeah, the World Cup and it shows the really showed the double standards.
It's phenomenal. But this is what I'm saying. It is absolutely phenomenal. And this is what I'm saying. Even everyone's noticing this. There's nothing to hide. You can't. And even within the UK, people are looking at the BBC and saying, no, you are not the British Broadcasting Corporation. You're very biased in everything that you do. Right? You're saying about all of these things. Okay, so does that mean when when the World Cup is in America, you won't broadcast it because of all the human rights abuses? Or because of all the,
they pick and choose, There's probably talking points given to them by the MI6, 7, whatever it is. And
Nah, bro,
CIA,
it's not by them.
CIA talking
It's
points.
not by them.
Yeah.
This is
You
just...
reckon
Nah.
there's no one that gives like talking points?
I think those guys are too busy.
CIA talking points are famous in America. CIA gives to the media talking points.
Really?
There's there's things that are directed that they insert within the general thing. That's well known. CIA talking points are
The point about all of this is what a few incidents have brought home to me is be proud to be a Muslim. Be loud and proud, right? To be a Muslim. But at the same time, support each other and understand the value of each Muslim, the guy next to you. When you go for salat, the brother next to you, whatever he's doing, if it's Ramadan and he's doing the biryani burp, there's a lot of value behind that burp. That's all I want to say.
We have to like.
In Taraweeh.
He's a very valuable brother, but subhanAllah.
I'm not saying like
that's
the
a
burp.
hard one. Yeah, it's hard to.
I'm not saying.
Anyway, I'll accept that. Mashallah, what a clean heart you have towards ummah, man.
No, straight up, man.
Yeah.
First of all, just in general,
speaking of
I find
burps.
human beings to be amazing.
Yeah.
Just Muslim, non-Muslim, human beings are amazing.
Yeah.
And they're capable of the most. Bro, I know one guy, this is in Melbourne. I'm not going to say his name, I'm not going to say anything. His last $20 he'll give to someone on the street. And he hasn't got money for the next 6 days.
Ya Allah.
Without word of an exaggeration. And I have seen this guy do this over and over again to the point where I said, bro,
Yeah, I'm not like that.
you need to just be careful.
I had a guy call me the other night at midnight, and I don't know who he is. He called me at midnight. I'm about to sleep, close, and I said,
You know why? He knows the Imam's salary is like $40 million a year or something.
yeah, like we're just killing it. And he calls me, goes, I'm stuck in another city. I need I said, I don't know who you are, because
But what if he was genuinely stuck?
yeah, I've been feeling guilty for the last 2 days because the reason, I have junkies coming
Do you?
in the office. Yeah, in the masjid office there's people come money all the time. Like one guy
Okay,
came.
you need to elaborate. What does
One
that
guy,
mean?
one guy comes, Imam, please, Imam, please, Imam, please. You got to give it to me, Imam, give me some money. I need to have a shower. This and that. It's going on and on. I feel like bad. And I said, I don't have any money in my own pocket. I'm barely making ends meet. And at that time when he was asking, and I'm loaded now, but all those crypto investments. Why'd you tell me to make? I would never make crypto investments. I wasn't that stupid. I'm too suspicious for that.
Thanks, bro.
Skeptical for that.
Thanks, bro.
But I told you so.
You just killed it. You just
I told
killed
you.
it.
No, stop it. I told you so.
Is suicide haram in Islam?
It's haram. But Imam, please. And I said, bro, I don't have anything. If you shouting in there, and I come into the mosque a bit frazzled, I come into the masjid and everyone's
He's reading salat to me. He's leading salat.
I'm a bit frazzled and if one guy begs you and then you're trying not to belittle him, but you don't know where my money
breaks your heart, man.
And he goes, Ya Allah, never put people I love and myself into such a situation, but you know that this money is not going to go into anything good. This is going to drug money. And it's a very hard thing.
The thing that I would say to every single person listening, and tell your family, tell your friends, help. But because people will come and say, "Oh, listen, I need money for food," buy them food.
Yeah.
Don't
involves
give
too many,
the cash.
Too many steps.
Huh?
Involves too many steps.
But it is what it is.
No,
bro.
I'm saying you have to help the person out. But the thing is, somebody calls random, you don't know who they are.
So anyway, continue with the junkie thing.
No,
and then go back to this.
He comes to the masjid and just he's begging different ways. Half an hour, man. He's not stopping. It's unbelievable. I'm by myself, stuck in the office, and the people are in the mosque, and I'm like, but I'm so hard-hearted that I will not. It doesn't work on me.
I don't think it's hard-hearted. It's just
no, I'm hard-hearted. But
yeah, you're a prick.
Yeah, so it's I'm hard-hearted and I'm I don't let it affect me.
You're a Pathan.
Yeah, I'm a Muslim.
Even though
I'm
born
a
in
Muslim,
Brazil.
But then it's finally when I said, brother, I can't help you. I'm sorry. And then he unleashes on me, and he goes, "You Muslims, you're like this." I said, I was Imam a minute ago. I was a Maulana, I was a Sheikh. What happened? All my titles disappeared. Now I'm effing, Muslim. And so they you have to deal with that.
I've had that.
Yeah.
Many times.
Yeah.
And then, so anyway, go back to your phone call.
Then you have the non-Muslim ones that come as well, because they think we're like a church.
Yeah?
Yeah. They'll come.
They
try their luck.
No, but there's a lot of people now. Not a lot, but there's a few people, and I'm sure all our listeners have seen it. Yeah, outside the mosque, with the scarf on, or even in the city. I remember when I used to work in the city, they start with "Assalamu alaikum, brother."
Yeah.
There's one guy that will come and speak in Urdu.
Yeah.
In the middle of the city, I'm like, how does this guy know I speak Urdu?
Yeah.
How does he know I'm from and I'm like, how does he know I'm from overseas? I just don't get it. Right? I thought I blended in.
Is he like a white guy?
No.
Oh, he's one of yours.
One of yours. Right? Yeah. Full on, right?
Yeah.
And then, but what I'm saying next level, this was like, Bro, this guy's been trained by Indian beggars.
Oh no.
I'm not
Oh, no.
exaggerating.
Oh no.
Not stopping. The little, you know, when you say no, there's always like it's a sales pitch,
Yeah.
right? You get a rejection, and then you just come back with another one, and then just like full on. And I was just like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I had someone come. May Allah protect us from this. But
Yeah.
anyway, get back to your phone call. I don't want to say anything.
So then that one, and then the phone call, the brother, he called, but I don't know if he's a brother. I don't know if he's Muslim. So what do you want me to do? You're in another city. I'm going to transfer money to
But
you.
tell you what he said. You haven't said to anyone what he said.
No, I'm not going to say. Like, he just needed help, like buy a
Yep,
ticket
okay.
or something.
All
Like, I'm assuming. But
Yeah.
like, you want me to send you money? Like, I didn't go into detail. I said, brother,
Do you know this guy?
there's a policy. Like, I can't help. Like, as a imam, I can't. Like, if I
Yeah.
because money that comes, you're calling me through the mosque, then.
Yep.
The mosque has procedures to deal with. Like the mosque helps out people that approach it. People need operations or something like
Really?
that. Yeah, mosques
Mashallah.
in general, they are good like with the community. But there's a procedure for it. It's not like the imam is like, he's got to like just spending out of the mosque. So, exactly. Yeah, we're not like we can't. There's a whole committee. There's a process. There's steps in it, and they vetted and
Checks and balances. You
yeah,
need that.
exactly. It's common sense.
So it doesn't
it's
get
very,
abused.
very important. Like organizations need that. Islamic charities need that.
Masjids need that.
Yeah.
Maulana Khalid needs that.
Yeah, checks and balances are very, very important. It's the ummah's money, right? It's ijtimai money, collective money, and collective money cannot be just spent willy-nilly. It has to be spent carefully and properly and in its right place. So anyway, yeah. I mean, there are
Are
organizations.
you still feeling guilty about it?
National Zakat Fund. Yeah, I feel guilty about it because I don't know.
Hey, the NZF doesn't.
I hope it's not a brother that's really needed help. Like I hope it's not. But generally, the people that call like that, they usually have issues. Yeah.
The NZF is another organization that does great work.
Scamming is on different levels. Over the phone, because there's scams done on the phone as well, like constantly.
Bro, there's like 4 billion of us. No, not 4.
Yeah.
Or is it $2.5 billion?
Hello, my name is Michael Smith. I'm calling from.
Bro, the widest
I'm calling
name.
from the ATO. We got those ones. Yeah. If you don't pay, you're fine.
No, what is it? You will have a warrant for your arrest.
Yeah. Like what the hell?
And you'll be chucked into prison.
I didn't even get an email. From,
And the key will be
my
thrown away.
Huh? Yeah. Like they get ready for the.
You will be tortured. Okay, so just for those listening, something's been edited out. I don't think it was inappropriate, but
yeah. So scammers on phones, like for example, there's a famous one my dad dealt with. Some sheikh from Saudi Arabia, who's a famous sheikh, very wealthy. He called. He's stuck at the airport. These stuck at the airport ones. That's probably what it was. That in my mind, in my subconscious, I probably went back.
But was this a real sheikh or was it a scam?
It was a scam pretending to be the sheikh.
To your dad?
Well, he tried with every imam in Melbourne.
No way.
A couple of them send several $1,000s.
No.
Because he's coming with a large amount of donations for the mosques in Australia, and these guys thought that's it. Like all our our project is done. If we help the sheikh out, he'll be loyal for life. He's connected to the royal family. But it was some rando.
But why was he asking for money if he's got all these donations?
He got stuck. He needed to get a ticket, and he couldn't get his card and this and that. They make their
of course they're very believable.
They spin their story.
And Masjid sent money.
Not money, like thousands. Like I think it's 5,000 here, 3,000 there. And then they called my dad. My dad said, "What are you talking about?"
Wow.
He goes, "He's my teacher in Medina University at the time. Like this is 20-something years ago." And my dad was laughing about like all these imams got like tricked by this stuff fertilizing. Poor guys, they fell for it.
Bro, something like that will burn you for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you'll be. Yeah, I mean they use the religious angle. Assalamu alaikum, brother. When you see that, your defenses go down. Like your
Now mine go up.
Really?
Yeah.
Akhi.
I hear that mine go up.
Really?
Mine go up, yeah. As soon as not brother, but as soon as someone starts going too hard on Islam,
Yeah.
which is, I suppose, sad.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But my defenses go up. I'm like, okay, what's this guy want?
Yeah. You know what it is? Because both of us have done sales.
Do you think?
We spot a salesman, a con artist straight away. Because we con people into mobile phone plans.
I never conned anyone. Do you know that? I am famous
You are
within
an
the company.
ethical salesperson.
I was.
Yeah.
I was
telemarketer.
very ethical
Mashallah.
salesperson.
Yeah, I was ethical as well, as per the book.
I used to, not just that. I used to say to people,
Can I cancel this mobile phone? Yes, you can.
no, I used to.
We just don't tell them the early termination
But do you know what I
charge.
used to say to guys? Okay, now you actually don't need this.
Yeah?
Straight up. They came because of that reason.
Mashallah.
I can honestly hold my hand to my heart.
No,
and say I was straight.
Don't make me look bad.
I don't know, Imam Saab.
No,
I don't know how shifty you were.
I wasn't shifty at all. I was actually a very bad salesman. I actually got sacked twice. I got rehired again.
When it comes to that, I can hold my
How many years
hand.
did you sales?
I don't know, bro. Years.
Yeah, I did 5
That's
years.
depressing when you. No, mine was what?
5 years. 5 years on the phones, telemarketing. While I was
10,
studying
12,
madrasa
12,
in the
12.
evenings, I was on the phones.
14, 15 years, man.
You were on the phones?
Not just on
team manager.
door to door.
Oh,
on the
14 years of
phones.
sales. Yeah. You're
Just
totally
sales.
That's why we can pick those guys. Like, honestly, we can see like a sales pitch coming up.
Oh, now when you say it like that, I feel old, bro.
Huh?
I don't feel my. I feel my every day of my 27 years.
But like when they start doing a sales pitch, like even the con artists, you start to see they're breaking it down in your mind because we used to do that.
I do that with calls. If I see someone call me and they're actually genuinely trying to sell me something and it might be something, I say, listen, I've done sales for many years, and my kids laugh.
Yeah.
I go, your intro needs more work, and I'll be like, don't give me the script. Tell me what you want. If you're legit, I will genuinely consider it. And I've considered it for one person.
And you know what I do? The worst thing, because we're trained on customer service, we actually take over the customer service part of it. Do you do that as well? It's the word in real life that let him do his job. All right, have a nice day. And the guy said, you have a nice day as well. And it's ridiculous, like, because we're supposed to be the last, finish the call on top and in a nice way, leave a thing like that. And they sort of, like, we sort of take the end of the call. I'm the one that takes over. But it's funny how the tarbiyah that was done, like you're doing it for, you're calling 70, 80 people a day for 5 years. So you constantly, I was teaching my students in Maktab.
And rejection, cold call rejections. Or when you go knock on a door, I'll tell you 2 stories. I was selling alarm systems, $2,400 systems. Cold call knocking on the door, right? So my boss, he tells me a story about what happened before I came, a few weeks before. This guy, 6 months, this was commission only job. So imagine the level of pressure. He worked there for like 6 months because he wanted to crack it. He finally sold one system in some random country town. 7 days cooling off period, they cancelled on him.
Oh no.
A couple of weeks later, police turn up. Do you have this guy working here? They're like, no, he quit. He doesn't work here anymore. The people that he sold it to, they got robbed, and the letter was left. Don't you wish you had the alarm system now? True story.
Oh. There's a lesson.
That's a true story.
There's a lesson learned.
And then another one.
What? One of your guys robbed him?
No, not one of my guys. This was before I joined this company.
Okay, wow.
Not my team. My team was all on the phones.
The ones who don't buy it, you go rob them just to teach them a lesson.
No. Right? Astaghfirullah. Right? And then another one, this was my boss at that time. He was telling us a story. He knocks on the door. The guy opens the door. He started swearing at him. Get the F out of here. This and that. Slams the door. I won't say his name. He goes around to the back, knocks on the door. The guy opens it and goes, what do you want? He goes, I just wanted to let you know you've got a really rude guy answering your front door. You need to get someone else to answer it. The guy started laughing and listen to the pitch. Mine was random. I remember helping, I'll just chill with them, go in, help cook dinner once. and then she's like, I was helping her, like this lady makes spaghetti for her kids. Just random. I was a young kid, right? I was like, yeah, I'll give you a hand. The kids are going crazy. Made pasta. And then I sat down with her and then I'm looking around. I'm like, nah, she can't afford this. I said, listen, have you got anything that's very valuable in this house? She's not really, love this all I've got. I'm just on, I've got the kids and this. I go, you don't need this. And then I was like, all right, have an awesome day. Enjoy your. She goes, aren't you going to eat the pasta? I go, no, I can't eat the meat. I walked out. I used to have so much fun, but at the same time, alhamdulillah, I did all right.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
I think sales is an awesome game for everyone to do, but I don't know how.
It can make you leave. It can make you. It feels dirty sometimes. It feels sleazy. It feels sleazy.
When you feel sleazy, you got to cancel that sale.
Yeah. Like
because you've done something wrong.
Yeah. Like it feels like. That's why I hate it, and I hate it when somebody's doing a sales pitch. Like this Irish guy came selling electricity, changed companies, and I said, "No, it's all right. I don't want to go through this." Like I said, because I did electricity as well. So
did you?
With another company, and I won't mention the name of the company, but
Telstra?
but I wasn't really in the sales. I was the
QA.
Quality control, checking the middle. The sale is ethical. I was the guy.
You were the guy that cancelled the
then
sales.
these dodgy guys. They were doing the door knocking. They're doing everything. They call in. I speak to the person, check all their like make sure everything's all right. There was like one guy I said I couldn't put through because the guy's drunk. Somebody named like he sold this drunk old guy, Aussie guy, some electricity, and they said this is. I told him you're gonna. He goes, give me a number now. The Indian guy said. I said, yeah, here's my number. What's your number? He hung up on me. He can't do nothing because the recordings are there. And I said, no, this is an unethical sale. The guy's drunk, and you're getting him to sign up to a thing. There was a couple like that where my job is make sure they understand what the contract is, and it will make the sale ethical as it comes back to bite the company if you do an unethical sale, because their kids might come. If they're an elderly person, their kids come in, they can sue you for like cheating them out if the recording.
Of course,
the recordings are there. So. But back to what we were saying about like I was saying in Maktab, last week I was teaching the kids in the Maktab how to do a sales call. Like so the
really?
Introduction.
So parents are sending their kids to learn Quran, and instead you're making me just
a few minutes out to teach them the finer points of salesmanship. But hi, my name is Khaled. I'm calling from Company X. The reason for my call today is making sure you're getting the maximum benefit in our services today. Now, before I continue, I'll let you know this call is monitored.
Oh my God! You know the funniest is when you call someone up, and for Wajid, right? But people used to hear it we hear it as Roger. Old bloke.
I was Carl.
Yeah, one old bloke goes, Roger. Thank God it's an Aussie, mate. These bloody Indians have been calling me all week. I'm like, nah, you serious? He's like, yeah. He goes, what do you want?
They drop the guard so much because they're not hearing, they just hear the accent.
You know what annoys me? When I get a call like this, but the name is Michael Smith.
Yeah.
Tell me your name is Venkatesh, mate. You get more chance of me listening.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah. Now there's some hilarious ones where, because they don't know, they start chucking all racism. In Sydney, I think I mentioned this before as well, that it goes, it's like little Istanbul down there. You know, like they check little, really? Yeah. Oh, no. You know, like you sort of lean into it. And at that time when I worked, I was like really particular about wearing the turban. I had the jubba turban. I'm sitting there with a headset. They can't see me. So,
like Roger, these bloody Indians.
Have fun with it.
You know, the most hectic
back to what we're saying, back to saying about the scammers. The scammers, we've got a million stories for sales, but the scammers, because when they do it, like immediately something clicks in the brain, and like maybe we're hyper sort of alert to it. If you do sales, then you sort of like start picking up.
Yeah, you do. It's the little things. It's not the majors. You're like,
you know what they're doing.
Right.
You know what they're doing. You can actually, I can actually picture them. Like you've done it so much.
Yeah,
you can actually picture everything. And as soon as they know that you know, they hang up.
Yeah,
you know, like you start to go a little bit. They said, this guy knows what's up. And like you're not even being harsh.
I'm not wasting my time with him.
Yeah. This guy's gonna. I try to waste the time. I consider it service to humanity, but I'm not at the level of the YouTube. Yeah, I spend some time on it. Put on an old man voice and start to like just really.
You know what I do?
Pretend I don't understand what the internet is, even though I got an IT degree, and just pretend like just play along. I said the more time they spend with me, the more rewards. Less time is spending some old guy ripping their money off. See,
with me when they the ATO calls, sometimes I'll just be like, I don't want to get arrested. Help me. Right? That's when, they go, the ATO calls or whatever. I don't know what to do. That's how I act. I'm like, it's okay, sir. We're here to help you. Right? I'm like, oh my God. And I just play it up. No. And then I'll just come down. I'll go, bro, come on, seriously. I know you're a scammer. Yeah. And then you click.
Yeah, next call. Yeah. There's a guy online. There's a couple of them. There's a lot
Scammer
of them.
payback.
They keep them on the phone for 10 hours, 20 hours, 24 hours. The guy's just losing it. And don't refund.
You effing this? Are you effing stupid?
Be quiet. Shut up and listen. Shut up.
Guys, you got to watch it to understand that we can't do it justice.
It's finally like to see these Zalims that are that are
payback.
Like they're ripping off old ladies, and to see
that's the most disgusting thing. Once I spoke to someone.
The target pensioners.
I spoke to someone. It was a scammer from overseas, subcontinent, I actually spoke to them in Urdu
India,
or whatever. It was India or Pakistan.
Don't bring
Nah,
us,
bro, there's a lot of Pakis doing this as well. Right?
Don't rope us into this.
No, I'm telling you.
They're all in Bombay.
They're not in Bombay anymore because they got arrested.
Yeah,
They've all moved out into like the little unknown
Cities,
villages
yeah.
and cities.
yeah.
Right? They're not coming from the major IT hubs anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, because the police are savvy to this now, right? And I was having to go, okay, do you understand what you're doing? I live in Australia. I've grown up here. There's actually people that don't have food in their fridge and you're taking their money, this and that. And this guy was apologetic. I don't know if he just moved on to the next call. He knows. I'd like to think that I changed someone's life and now this guy's like the next Mother Teresa Muslim version of India. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know how we got onto sales. What happened there?
Yeah, the scammers.
Yeah.
I think let's call it a night, inshallah.
That's it.
Few stories.
Short and quick.
Few issues. Alhamdulillah.
Guys, sadqa.org.au, please look at it.
Yeah, mashallah.
It touched my heart.
Yeah.
It really affected me.
Yeah, I was holding the tears when they were showing the presentation.
And this guy doesn't cry. This guy's like hard-hearted, like
Yeah, I
nothing.
saved the tears for the Hajj, you know.
You know, we as sales, we can tell scammers.
Assalamu alaikum.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon. I hope I didn't interrupt him too much today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.